It is Friday. The Wimbledon draws have just been released, and that's why I'm here. I'm doing a podcast kind of format because I want to be able to look at my computer screen while I articulate my opinions of the draws. And I want to give you my first impressions. I have not looked at these yet, so I am both excited and afraid to see who plays who and what is happening in the next 2 weeks at Wimbledon. So without further ado, let's begin with the top half of the men's draw. That's a little bit loud. That's better. The top half of the men's draw features Novak Djokovic. Not a huge surprise there. Oh, but he does play James Ward in the first round. That's going to be fun. Yeah, so it looks like we have Djokovic as the 1 seed, Federer as the 3 seed, Raonic as the 6 seed, Nishikori as the 5 seed on this half of the draw with Djokovic. And in order to make it to the finals, he will have to get past James Ward in the first round, then potentially an Adrian Manarino type, maybe a Ruben Bemelmans, then a Sam Querrey or a Philip Kohlschreiber, and then from there, who knows. But it looks like Djokovic has a pretty challenging road, at least compared to Murray on the other half, but we'll get to that in a second. On the top half, as I said, Djokovic plays Ward in the first round. That shouldn't be very close. Jack Sock plays Ernest Gulbis, which will be super fiery because Gulbis is a fiery Latvian. That's what the commentators tell us every week when we watch him play. And he usually loses in the first round. Didn't he have like a 6-match losing streak or something, like a 6-tournament losing streak in the first match? Something ridiculous like that. Also have Gael Monfils, who could probably not take down Djokovic, but at least give him a little bit of a battle, make him sweat a little bit. Gilles Simon is also on Djokovic's half, somebody he never wants to even hear the name of after what happened in Australia, of course. Marin Cilic is also on Djokovic's half. Ivo Karlovic, and of course Kei Nishikori. So what it's going to come down to for Djokovic then is, can Milos Raonic make it deep into this tournament, which I think he can and will. Roger Federer, of course, who he is projected to play in the semifinals if things go according to plan. And I think we all want things to go according to plan in order to see that beautiful spectacle for maybe one last time on the grass. Sorry to say, but at this point in Federer's career, you can't take these moments for granted. I'm just being honest. And then Kei Nishikori, I think, can go pretty far too. He's on Federer's quarter, so it won't be easy for him. He'll have to get past Gael Monfils, Marin Cilic, Gilles Simon, people like that. It's really hot in here. But his first round match is against Sam Groth, which could not be any more of a different player from Nishikori. A serve and volleyer versus a hard baseliner counter puncher. It's going to be fun. Buckle up your seats, belts, kiddos. So that's the top half of the draw. The bottom half is the Andy Murray half. And Andy Murray, I'm not going to say he has a red carpet to the final, but it's not the most difficult draw I've ever seen, which I guess is justice because people thought Djokovic had an easy draw in Paris, so whatever. But it looks like he would have to play Stan Wawrinka in the semifinals, potentially, or Dominic Thiem. Dominic Thiem's going to be the wild card of this Wimbledon. Watch. He's going to make a very deep run, if not to the quarters, or if not to the semifinals, at least the quarters, I think. He's been so hot lately. I just don't see him cooling down. He's only getting better week after week. The guy's only 22 years old, 23. Insane stuff. So look for him to have a great tournament. I had a show earlier in the week where I predicted him to potentially win this tournament. I think I bit off a little more than I could chew. I wasn't drunk or anything that day. I was just overeager. I don't think he'll win it. I think he'll make it to to the semifinals, I'm going to say. Which would mean he'd have to beat Stan Wawrinka in the process, which might break my heart slightly. But it's tennis. Stan had his moment in the sun. And then for Murray, in Murray's quarter in particular, it's pretty straightforward. He's got John Isner, Victor Troicki, Nick Kyrgios, Joe-Willie Tsonga, Benoit Paire, Feliciano Lopez. The way Murray's playing now, I wouldn't sweat any of that. You know, he has the ultimate home field advantage, of course, playing at Wimbledon, so he shouldn't have any issues against any of that competition. I'd expect him to make the finals. I don't see any reason not to expect that. So first round matches on this half of the draw. It looks like we have a few doozies here. One that is just jumping off the page at me is Taylor Fritz, my boy from down here in San Diego, facing off against Stan the Man in the first round. It really shouldn't be close. I would imagine Stan wins that pretty convincingly, but the fact that he's even playing at Wimbledon and he's going up against a two-time Grand Slam champion, I'm excited. And I think these experiences will make him exponentially better as he matures and grows older. The guy just got engaged, which is, I thought he was like 18, but hey, to each their own, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited to see his maturation. Maybe he can push it to 4 sets against Stan. I mean, Stan's not infallible, as we've seen, especially this season. It's been really rough sledding for him at times. So yeah, outside of that, the bottom half of the draw is not super exciting, not overly exciting. We have a potential Nick Kyrgios versus we have a potential John Isner versus Joe-Willie Tsonga. I don't know how I got that so wrong. In the third round, which seems rather abrupt for those two to be playing. So that should be tons of fun. Hope that comes to fruition. John usually plays fairly well at Wimbledon. What's his best result, though? I don't even think he's made it to the semis or the quarters at Wimbledon before. I want to say he hasn't. I should know more before I come on a mic and talk about tennis. I thought I did. I was just going to go with my gut. These are my first impressions. I haven't fully analyzed the draw yet. So I'm just going off of my gut instinct, following my gut. And yeah, it'll be fun. Wimbledon's always fun. Wimbledon's one of those tournaments, it's so steeped in history. And it's played on grass, which sounds cheesy, but not that many tournaments are played on grass. They give a whole month, they give over 2 months to the clay courts, but only a couple weeks on grass. It doesn't do it justice. I know they added a week to the grass period, but whatever. That doesn't make up for it. Way too many tournaments are played on clay compared to grass. So it makes Wimbledon that much more unique and special. And I am super excited for this year's edition, and you should be too. Those are my first impressions of the draw. So in conclusion, I don't think it takes a rocket science to predict a Novak Djokovic versus Andy Murray final. The question is, how far will Roger Federer go? Because we've seen him playing slightly better over the last 2 to 3 weeks. But he's a pretty tough draw. I'm predicting 4th round for Fed. I hope I'm wrong. It'd be cool to see him make one last Jimmy Connors leap to the final of Wimbledon. I mean, he's still 3 in the world. You don't want to count the guy out completely, but it's just going to be really difficult for him with that draw. So tune in Monday. Wake up early if you live in the States or anywhere in North America, and get the coffee ready. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks. A fun fortnight at the good old All England Club. We will see how it unfolds, and we will come back with more details as they happen. Thanks for watching / listening.